I'm Calli, and this is my co-host Emily.
And this is Wellness Round the Yough. And today we're here with Lesa Vivio of Lesa Vivio Counseling, and we're going to learn a little bit about her practice and what she has to offer.
So Lesa does a more holistic way of counseling, include some things like Tai Chi and meditation. So we're going to get an idea of that, which is really exciting because it's, you know,
it's a great tool.
Oh yeah, a cool way to look at things, you know, outside of the traditional realm. So how did you get into this holistic way of living? Like, have you always been into it? Tell me a little bit about your background.
I would definitely say I've had a good interest in it throughout my adult life. I definitely wasn't raised in the most holistically minded family. It was something that, as I came into my educational atmosphere and was exposed to more individuals with different backgrounds and cultures, the different types of ways became interesting to me. So I'm from the Valley. I had an opportunity to, you know, go to the city, not too far away, but in enough of an urban environment that it gave me an opportunity to mingle with individuals from different cultures.
Opened your mind up a little bit.
Definitely. And I became really, really interested in philosophy and spirituality. So I was very curious as to what people believed and why they believed it. And I have a bachelor's degree in philosophy for that reason.
Okay.
I thought that I would get a degree in religious studies, but it didn't work out the way I had intended it at the moment, but it worked out just the way it was supposed to.
Awesome. So give us an overview. I'm a little bit sick today, so sorry, but give us an overview of kind of just what you do now.
So presently I am in private practice. At this point I am consolidating my practices into just the California office, but I've been practicing in Monongahela since 2013. But I've been in the field of mental health since 2002 and started in a residential facility and just kept moving into a lesser and lesser restrictive setting until starting private practice in 2013 with a partner. But now I'm branching out and just making more of my presence in the California area, as well as doing some work with the Ronzio Holistic Health School, which has been amazing.
And that's how we met Lesa, through there. Yeah.
And doing more work with Tai Chi and Qigong and meditation, and just moving into, my plan is to move into more of the body work stuff. So I'm learning a lot about Kundalini Yoga as well as the medical uses of Tai Chi and Qigong, which is just incredible.
So can you explain what Tai Chi is?
So Tai Chi is a series of forms. So in yoga, what we're most familiar with is a set of asanas that make up a kriya. And Tai Chi, Qigong movements, all sewn together, makes up, did I say that right? Yes. Makes up a series that individuals put together that is Tai Chi. So each individual movement would be a Qigong movement, but the whole series of it together that's put together by a master that's utilized for different wellness needs as well as different manifestations of movement of energy around your body. So if individuals have been familiar with Reiki, they know about how the energy is able to be manifested and healed moving along the body through an individual's hands. Tai Chi is just bringing that energy and allowing it to move throughout your body and promotes wellness, manifesting your own energy. So when I start, you know, that might be where I feel, that's where I feel my energy, you know, but after doing Tai Chi forms, my energy feels much bigger and much more powerful.
So
are you teaching your clients that then like on an individual?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going to ask.
Yeah, I utilize it most in teaching people how to either bring up their energy or utilizing it in how to get grounded. So using meditation as well as the Qigong and the breathing techniques between yoga breaths as well as the Qigong breaths, and utilizing the proper hand motions to just calm that energy down. Been also studying a lot of chakra medicine and recognizing sort of how to focus on clearing different areas of the chakras so that that energy moves more effectively and freely.
So when you see a client, because you're not I wouldn't say you're not a traditional kind of counselor.
I'm a little bit of both, so it depends. It depends on the client. I mean, some individuals come in, they know exactly what they want. They want to do something more along the lines of behavioral or cognitive behavioral therapy, and I can provide that. But some individuals...
say someone's not looking for that, though. They don't want to look for the traditional kind of counseling session.
Yeah.
So
they do well with me.
Yes. So you offer a more like energy healing approach, would you say? I
utilize that, during sessions as appropriate, and I want to say that
individualized.
Yeah, it's totally individualized. So individuals with anxiety that is related to trauma are going to need something very different from what individuals coming in with depression or seasonal affective issues would require. So I do my best to get to know the person, allow them to develop a trusting relationship with me. To me, everything's about the relationship.
Absolutely.
So if a person is able to relate to me and they feel that I'm being honest and open with them, they're more likely to be honest and open with me. And then I'm able to give them hopefully some great tools and skills so that they can utilize that in their everyday living.
So it's not even, you don't just focus on counseling though, also you teach Tai Chi around
I teach Tai
different
Chi,
areas.
Qigong. I am also a member of a program called Brain Steps, which helps students that have been affected by a traumatic brain injury go back into their educational placement with appropriate recommendations for any compensatory strategies that they may need. So
you reach people on a lot of different levels.
Yeah, I'm a certified brain injury specialist. I've been doing that type of work for about 8 years now, really a decade, but going into the rehabilitation model, I started doing that in 2010. So now the most activity that I have with that is through Brain Steps, which is that program that the state of Pennsylvania has. But I do trainings with different members of the Intermediate Unit 1 to do how to utilize mindfulness techniques into the schools so that they can help the kids get calmed, focused, as well as the teachers, because by different points of the year the teachers are exhausted. I mean, they have really large classrooms and their needs could be just as high as the kids, depending on what's going on and where it is in the year. So I also teach it sort of at that level, but also in, like I said, at the Dr. Ronzio school, as well as Cheney's Naturals and down on the Aquatorium and Sonador Yoga. So different places.
On Saturdays, right? Usually on
mostly Saturdays, mostly, or in the evenings when I'm free.
So we asked how you learn a more holistic way of living, but what kind of holds you more towards counseling and helping people?
Have you always had a holistic path with counseling?
No, I would say that has been something that has been more important to me once getting out on my own. I feel like the drive and the intention was always there, but the ability is different. When you work for an agency, you're promoting the mission and the values of the agency, and that is or is not always appropriate. The last agency that I worked for, I feel like they were much more conscious and aware of these holistic practices and wanted to look at the rehabilitation model as holistically as possible. So I feel like a lot of that interest got to expand and blossom. But since being out on my own for the last 5 years doing private practice.
It's really developed.
Yeah, absolutely, because I have the absolute freedom to study what I want to study, and I spend a good amount of energy in doing continuing education at really amazing facilities so that I can get the best of the information that is available. So, yeah, I really, really feel like I've been able to flourish in that realm being my own boss, because nobody's telling me what I can
Just
and
being
cannot
yourself
do.
and doing what you love. Yeah,
definitely
you can say you love it.
getting more settled into my own.
So, why'd you pick counseling?
I feel like counseling picked me. I don't know that I picked it. I feel like
because there are a lot of paths you can take with what you have. There are a lot of different paths you can take, and you chose this one. It's like, what drew you to that? It did.
I feel like it did. It just made sense. I mean, the shortest version of the longest story is I was an admissions counselor at Chatham. I completed my bachelor's degree in philosophy, which was slightly traumatic as you go into the workforce and you realize you're really smart, you know, and that's all you can prove. So I got a degree, or I got my first professional job at Chatham, and I was recruiting for the coeducational graduate programs. And at that point in time, I was working really closely with the different directors of those programs. So the counseling director pulled me aside at one point and said, why aren't you in our program? And I kind of chuckled at it because I thought he was joking. He said, I'm not joking, I'm totally serious. So I thought about what he had to say, and the changes in my life sort of opened up that direction, and it was the right way to go. So
it definitely picked you.
It definitely
it did
picked
pick
me. And I feel like that's always been the role that I've played in my family and with my friendships, is to be that individual that people would come to attempt to generate some options for their problems. So I feel like that was apparent to me even as a young individual.
How long did it take you to learn all this, as far as, meditation, Tai Chi, all these different kind of techniques you incorporate into counseling and into just helping people in general?
I mean, I've been meditating off and on and doing yoga off and on since the late 90s, early 2000s, and am in no means proficient in any way. But I feel like with the Tai Chi and Qigong, I've been doing that now for a little over a year, and it feels really natural to me. So
like it's just a part of you.
It really is.
Yeah.
Like, I caught on to it very quickly. My teacher promoted me through her classes very quickly, and I've just been now at that point where I'm dabbling with different individuals that have different styles and just totally benefiting from that. So, like I said, I feel like the last 5 years of my life have been very defining.
As to where you're supposed to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And to keep projecting in that realm.
We did a little bit of your Tai Chi, and you can.
And you know what I was going to say? It's anybody can do it.
Yeah.
It's very easy. It's very, very easy, and it's just so therapeutic. It's good for, I mean, the most of the population that does Tai Chi in America are aging, but I feel like Qigong is being recognized a little more often now with individuals in this holistic field. And I think a lot of that comes from this sort of explosion with Reiki that's been happening over the last several years. Right. So, I mean, everywhere I go now, I feel like I'm surrounded by at least 3 Reiki masters.
Yeah.
Which, if you would have said those words 5 years ago, people would have been like, huh? What
is that? Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Don't talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. Or you'd have been in the closet like, I practice this Reiki. But now that people know what that is, what the Ki or the Chi is, I feel like that interest is just blossoming as well. So it's amazing to feel like I'm on the ground floor of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Where does Tai Chi originate from?
China. It is where...
It's ancient.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
All of this is
It's ancient.
Ancient,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's just going back around though.
Just not in our country.
Yeah.
Because our country's quite young. But Tai Chi is where martial arts and traditional Chinese medicine come together. So it's a healing arts practice, not just exercise, which yoga is the same way. Yoga is a healing art, but we utilize it differently and we view it differently here in the West. So if we were in China or India, we would have
it's more
a more
healing. Yeah.
Yes. I laugh. One of the yoga teachers that I go to says that she has a friend, an Indian friend, who finds it very amusing that we do yoga in classrooms, because yoga, in their experience, is about assisting with digestion and moving that energy around, which tends to be a more private experience. So the fact that we do it in classrooms
in front of
is
everybody.
amusing. Yeah. So
You know what I found too, like with yoga, like I really love doing it, but more as like a way to just cope with everyday life and not like exercising it. Like not thinking of it in my mind as an exercise. Like I will do it, I will stick to it more.
I think that's what it was originally.
And that's what it is. It's
intended
not,
for.
Yeah, it was never really intended to
Yeah.
be a form of like weight loss or a form, you know, it's mental. And like for me, I can stick to it and I want to do it and I can do it for an hour, you know,
I mean,
if I'm not thinking of it as...
some individuals are able to do that very mindfully and in a very meditative way. I am not one of those people. It's not something that I feel like comes easily enough to me that I feel like, oh, namaste, you know, at the end of things. But I do feel that way with Tai Chi and Qigong, as I feel very present. I feel very connected to it. And it is, in every aspect of it, meditative and just in motion.
Well, that's what I was going to say. When we took a bit of your class at a festival we were at, I mean, there was a train coming by.
Yeah,
You didn't let it interrupt you at all.
No.
You just went with it, and it flowed so well. And I mean, my daughter was crawling around the river. I still felt relaxed,
I did
and I
too.
definitely felt like it helped my energy, you know, lift up. Because before I was kind of like, whatever mood. I felt like it lifted my energy up, even for like that 10 minutes that we did it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was great. It was
very
It was
nice.
amazing watching you teach, because you can see how passionate you are about it when you do it. Very
I
nice.
love it.
Yeah, yeah. That's very cool. So, where is your practice? I know we kind of said before. Where is your practice at currently?
Presently, I'm in both locations, and that's just till the end of the year. So
in January, where
I'm not
people come
taking
and
any
find you?
new clients at the Monongahela office, only at the California office, and that's located at 160 3rd Street in California. So right on that main drag. It's in a really interesting looking building that, if you're familiar at all with the area, it's that what seems like an out-of-place building. It's faux stucco. It has a very interestingly shaped roof, and it's one of the oldest buildings in the city of California, I'm told.
awesome.
Yeah, I'm under the impression that at one point in time, it may have even been the jail.
Oh, great.
So it's exactly. I've not been bothered by that
Yeah.
at all. But it's this corner cutout that is fairly obvious when you see it.
So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I had such a blast.
Yeah.
We did too.
It's always a good time.
Yeah.
And thank you guys for joining us for another episode of Wellness Round the Yough.
Thanks for letting us be your River Guides to Wellness. River Guides out.